to the Wolf Chase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwood alongside Natalie Poole. And, Coach, the regular season has come to an end. You finish it up this weekend with a home series against Louisville where you get to honor your seniors. You got a nice win in Game 1 over the Cardinals this weekend.
We did. It was a great weekend, great opportunity to celebrate the time that our seniors have been here and all their efforts and their commitment. We had a nice banquet on Friday night and got a chance to honor them on Sunday morning. And along with that, be able to pull a game out from a team that's ranked higher than us, for sure. It was great.
What is it like for Senior Day for you now? Because you've been here long enough. These seniors have been with you for a while. And you come in your first year a few years ago, and you only spend maybe a little less, actually, than a year with them. But now these seniors have been part of your life for a few years. Definitely
more vested with them. Our relationships are greater. We know a little bit more about each other. It's been great. I've been able to see them battle with injuries, try to help them navigate their way through that, as well as some of their successes and their failures, and try to help them be as mentally tough as possible, recover so that they can feel success again, and be able to enjoy some of the successes that they've had and laugh and joke and get to know them a little bit more personally.
Talk about that win you had, 3-2. You got a couple runs in the bottom of the seventh. That was a thrill to give the fans a treat there.
We did. It was a good game. It was nice to see us come back. And a lot of times we're losing that game, by one run, and it's so close. And so it was great to see us, even though we struggled early on, to be able to find it there at the end and make it happen. It was definitely a great win, a great way to start the series. And I think it also helped change the position that Louisville ended up with.
Of course, it was a good weekend to finally get out and play some softball. The weather this year has really been funny, kind of unusually mild and chilly down here in the southeast. So I know finally getting some warm weather. You've gone to South Florida and you've gone to UCF and finally able to play in some hot weather at home.
It was a great weekend of weather, beautiful outside. The field looked great. It was just the conditions all the way around were really nice to play in and definitely weren't a factor in anything that took place. So it was nice. And it was nice to be able to have Senior Day outside and in enjoyable weather. And we had a great fan base there on Sunday. And so it was nice to play in front of a home crowd as well.
Hard to believe the regular season is now complete. You go back into February and you're thinking, boy, it's a long one. Take it a game at a time, just grind it out, and all of a sudden the regular season's done.
It is. It's amazing how quickly, 56 games goes by, and we only lost one game this year out of all of that, even considering all the weather that we did have. And so, really, was able to see us do some good things. I've seen us struggle at times, but, I'm hoping as we move into this tournament that, some of the experience from these games, that they'll be driven, with just one game against one opponent for each day.
When you get that win over Louisville, it gives you a little bit of momentum going into the tournament. What are you kind of give us and your overall thoughts this year about the regular season?
I feel like that, we're young, and I feel like changing over to the American was a difficult time to transition. I feel like we probably would have had a little bit better presence in Conference USA. But I'm excited about the conference that we're in, and I definitely think that it's a very reputable conference. And so, we've taken our hits, but I know that we're young and we'll continue to mature. And I was, pleased with some of what our younger kids did, and some of our kids who didn't play last year stepped up at some crucial times for us. And so I saw a lot of good things. I saw us struggle a little bit, but I did see some good things happen.
All right, you're going to head down to Houston. So for you and the other old Conference USA schools, a familiar ballpark to play in for the conference tournament.
It is. My first year in the conference, we played at Houston. Since then, we've been able to host them just by the way of scheduling. And so I'm definitely familiar with their ballpark. You're definitely familiar with how the field plays. And so hopefully the girls can get in and get settled right away. And look forward to a great weekend.
Well, let's talk about it Thursday. You're going to start it off at 12:30 against USF. You lost that series down at USF. Had a chance in that first game at taking a lead, but they won it. They got the winning runs in the bottom of the sixth. And interesting note is all your game ones in your series this year have been one-run or extra inning ball games. So this team's got to have a lot of confidence headed down to Houston.
I definitely think that they believe that if we could go at them for one game, a lot of times I feel like a lot of energy is put into that one game, and a lot of times those games are going extra innings, and so that second game isn't quite what we expected or want to see from it. But, I'm excited about just playing one game. I think we played them tough, and I think that since we've seen Nevins a couple times, that we should do better offensively, because from game 1 to game 3, we made some better adjustments, and so I'm hoping that we can do the same whenever we show up at the tournament.
Also, the neutral field's good. I mean, the series you played USF, you had to go down there, and I was able to watch a couple of the games. That's a pretty tough environment to play down in Tampa, so get them on the neutral surface.
Definitely. I think a lot of times people play more confidently at home. They like being at home. They have a good sense of their field, and so it'll be nice to be at Houston and both of us kind of out of our element, just trying to win a ball game.
If you get past USF, if you get out of the quarterfinals, Louisville or Temple will wait for you on Friday.
Absolutely, and I definitely feel confident versus both of those teams. Louisville's a tough team. They're well coached. They've been around for a while, and historically are pretty successful. But I feel like we can beat them. Temple, we took 2 of 3 from, and had an opportunity in the first game. And so, while I know that every game is going to be a challenge for us, I definitely think that we have the potential. We just got to get through that first game.
And then Saturday afternoon is going to be the championship game. By the way, if the fans that are wanting to watch, it's going to be on the American Digital Network. All those broadcasts are free. Just go to theamerican.org, click on the video link. You can watch not just the Tigers, but if you're a huge softball fan, you can watch the whole tournament except for the finals for free, and that will be televised as well on Saturday. Going to the conference tournament and then making your way out of the conference tournament, what do you feel about the American? How many teams do you think this league possibly gets for the NCAA?
I think that they'll put in about 4 teams. We've had 4 2-5 schools, that the 5th school kind of on the watch list. But I definitely think that there is some separation there, and I think that there's, the top half of our conference is competing and has competed pretty well. Mm-hmm. They've played great against outside competition outside of our conference. And then with our conference, with the RPI being 7 at this point, we're going to get some looks and we're going to get some consideration by the national committee. It's a great conference. For softball, I'm definitely happy to be a part of it. And all the teams that are doing well statistically and are in the top half are programs where their coaches have been there for 10, 15, 20 mm-hmm. years. And so, these teams, they've been good. They're probably going to stay good. And so I think this says a lot about what the future of softball looks like in our conference.
Sounds good. Coach, best of luck this weekend down in Houston.
Thank you.
That is head coach Natalie Poole. I'm Jeff Brightwell for the Wolf Chase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.